This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. Ford is delaying deliveries of the Mustang Mach-E. It started delivering the electric Mustang in limited numbers last year, but Electric reports that some buyers have been notified that their upcoming deliveries, scheduled in the coming weeks, will be delayed for up to a month in some cases. A Ford spokesperson confirmed that deliveries of several hundred Mach-E's will be delayed for additional, quote, quality checks. But Ford didn't reveal what the issue is. And speaking of EVs being delayed, VW of America CEO Scott Keogh told Automotive News that the launch of its retro-inspired ID. Buzz minivan will be delayed by a year in the U.S. The company planned to start producing it in the U.S. in 2022, but now that won't happen until 2023. Reuters reports that Grab, which you could call the Uber of Southeast Asia, wants to do an IPO on an American stock exchange this year. You know, we're seeing lots of non-U.S. companies getting listed on American exchanges, especially Chinese EV startups. And it's easy to see why. Where else are they going to go? Stock exchanges in Europe, Japan, and Korea are snooze fests. There is little trading activity on those exchanges. China's stock markets are much more vibrant, but so many listed companies are state-owned, and the state tries to protect them from volatility, so it can be heavily regulated and not very transparent. In the U.S., even if you just look at all the automotive stocks, trillions of dollars trade hands every day. And that's why, if any company wants to raise money through the stock market, the best place to do it is the USA.
We want to know what drives your testing. OTA, connected car, diagnostics, remote testing. Intrepid Control Systems is here to help you work from anywhere. Intrepid Control Systems, driven by your data.
Reducing your risk of contracting COVID could be as simple as opening your car's windows. According to a study from Brown University, opening your windows can drastically reduce the amount of aerosols that can collect inside a car because of the airflow that's generated. The study used fluid dynamic simulations on a vehicle roughly the size of a Toyota Prius and with occupants sitting diagonally from each other. It also notes opening the windows opposite of the people inside the car is best, and that just cracking them is not enough. They need to be opened at least halfway. You know, we're seeing a lot of activity with vertical takeoff and landing vehicles, or VTOLs. Last week, GM revealed it's working on a VTOL that would be part of the Cadillac lineup, and FCA announced it's collaborating with the VTOL company Archer to help it build its aircraft. And now Volocopter, which is backed in part by Daimler and Geely, is seeking regulatory approval in the U.S. to operate its VTOL aircraft in the U.S. The company said if it gets approval from the FAA, it could start operating in San Francisco, Los Angeles, New York, and Washington in the next 2 to 3 years. Ford of Europe must have received a good response from its rally-inspired commercial vans that it unveiled back in August of last year, because now it's giving the Ranger the same treatment. The Ranger MSRT features a hand-built front fascia that includes a honeycomb-shaped pattern in the grille and integrated fog lamps. It also gets 20-inch wheels, bigger wheel arches, unique side skirts, fake carbon fiber mirror caps, aerodynamic load bar, orange stitching on the interior, and an MSRT door frame scuff plate. Like the vans, all of the changes are cosmetic. Under the hood is a 2-liter diesel engine, mated to a 10-speed automatic and 4-wheel drive. Although it does note, customers can shell out for a dealer-installed sound box that's able to generate artificial engine noises via a smartphone app. The Ranger MSRT will be available in Europe this summer. Gentex, the maker of digital rearview mirrors, is showing off its expanded capabilities. Integrated trailer cam allows users to get a number of different camera angles when towing. What makes Gentex's system unique is that it's Wi-Fi based, so no extra cables, and it doesn't take up additional dash space or block out the navigation since it's incorporated into the rearview mirror. Gentex is also now equipping some of its mirrors with cameras and sensors. The cameras not only give the user a view of the road, but of the cabin as well, and all these views can be recorded for future use. An iris scanner can then be used for things like biometric data confirmation, which provides another level of security, as well as the ability to make in-vehicle purchases or set vehicle settings. And with automated driving features making their way into more vehicles, driver monitoring is becoming a growing field, and Gentex is able to handle that too.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone Tires, solutions for your journey, and by Intrepid Control Systems, over-the-air engineering. Boost your game.
Some people say that cars are just turning into cell phones on wheels, but the supplier company Continental says cars are much more than that. A cell phone has 1 microprocessor, while the average car has over 100. A cell phone has only 1 display, while cars typically have about 4 of them. There are about 7 sensors in a phone and hundreds of them in cars. Continental says that software now defines 40% of the functions in a car, up from only 10% a decade ago, and that number will only continue to go higher. Canada's auto industry has been shrinking for years, but here's a huge win for it. General Motors announced it's investing $800 million to convert its Cami factory in Ontario to build the EV600 electric commercial vans it revealed last week for its new Bright Drop business. That plant currently builds the Chevy Equinox, but GM will immediately start transforming the plant and is aiming to start delivering the EV600 by the end of the year. GM picked the Cami plant to build the vehicle because it can dedicate it to making only electrics. Rolls-Royce is the epitome of British luxury cars. But did you know that they used to make cars in Springfield, Massachusetts? And production began exactly 100 years ago yesterday when a silver ghost rolled out of the factory. Rolls made cars in the U.S. for 10 years, relying on U.S. coach builders, including Brewster, Willoughby, Merrimack, and Halbrook, to build bodies for Silver Ghost and Phantoms. In all, Rolls made 2,946 cars in Springfield, but then the Great Depression hit and its U.S. operations came to an end in 1931. But that's the end for today's show. Thanks for watching.